and welcome to this quick tutorial on codons. If you are getting turned on and excited by the codon information from the Dream Rave codon video we just did with Vicki, here's a little tutorial. If you missed that, watch that. It will be linked in the description below. Quick tutorial on what codons are. See you on the inside. There's a lot of fun things to look at when we're exploring codons. According to Ra Urahu, it is the reason that humans cluster together in soul groups. So it's the human fractal, it's the fabric of the universe. So let's talk about the magic of the codon. So there are a total of 21 codon rings, each one relating to specific amino acid or stop codon. Each codon ring is connected to a specific amino acid chemical constituents used by your body to build protein. So the codon ring is this idea that the big questions revealed: who you're friends with, who your family is, who you die with, that interconnectedness between people. This is what Ra is talking about when he's weaving this information of the codons. The codons are directly with the lines, working with the lines. And when we contemplate the interconnectedness, we explore new dimensions of our consciousness. It opens you up to the wilderness, the Maya, the illusion, and helps unravel what you think you know, the Maya. So let's look a little bit deeper here into the RNA, the codons, the hexagrams, the DNA, and how this all fits together. So when we look at the DNA and the I Ching and the hexagram relationships, we're looking at the whole structure of these codons. Now, the codons, when we're talking about the way these fit together in the gates, these are two separate things, which I'm going to go into in just 1 minute. But the proteins and the amino acids are related to health situations or health deficiencies in the body. And that's what Vicki's specialty is, and that's what she talks about in the interview video. So I'm going to turn it over to that video for the description of the amino acids. But what I want to just kind of do is this introduction of the codons and where we're finding it in the hexagrams. So what we have here is a DNA sequence. We have the 4 nucleobases, the adenine, the guanine, the cytosine, and the thymine, and the 4 bigrams. So when you explore the combinations, the unique combination of 64, we have the yin and the yang, the active and the receptive, and there's a correlation that can be formed with these amino acids. and they're built in a similar pattern within your DNA with the AGUC, which are the nucleobases, the common denotations for the base pairs, and can be represented in similar patterns of the bigrams. So if you want to really go down this rabbit hole, there are a lot of books written on DNA and the I Ching, the correlation, the hexagram, the relationships of the lines and how they fit with the I Ching and the DNA. I find it really interesting because the I Ching, of course, is an ancient mystical occult text that teaches you how to read basically anything that's in a sort of synchronicity, how people read tea leaves, how they read tarot cards. It's basically showing us that there's symbolism in everything. And when you look at that compared to the DNA, there's a specific way to read the hexagrams based on the I Ching. And what human design is doing is it's lining it up with this DNA code and the lines so that we're actually able to make a symbolism and correspondence. And that's why we're able to have this accuracy when you look at your human design chart. So here's the codon rings. This came from the gene keys, and the way that Richard Rudd looks at this is very different. He's looking at these rings, these codon rings, and how they work together and how they bring people together. Now, where we derive the information of the proteins from the dream rave is based here. And so I kind of want to just show you guys this so you have sort of a background when you watch the interview video. So each one of these dream gates belongs to a specific chemical family. That is, they belong to a codon group. Now, it's true with the regular gates as well. They belong to these codon groups. But what we found when looking at the dream matrix is whenever you have a gate in your dream chart that is not in your waking state, that's called an Achilles heel gate. And I'll show you that in just one second. That's where we are the deepest and the most sensitive to the matrix and the conditioning element. And that's where Vicki discovered that you were seeing illnesses, and the illnesses are correlating to the amino acid of that gate. So that's what you want to be looking at. Now, what we have here are the amino acid with the gate. So the correlation between the gates and the amino acids. So the lysine is gate 14. The threonine is the 9, the 11, and the 26. The phenylalanine is gate 2. The terminator is the 33 and the 56. Threonine is the 39, 52, 58, 54. So you can look through these and see what the amino acids are in the gates. So the idea here is if you have the gate on the left, it will respond to one of the gates within the codon family. The one will correlate to the gate 14 due to the chemical correlation. Let me just back up here for a second. These gates listed here on the left-hand side are the gates of the dream rave. And so it's the when you do the dream rave chart, you do not have all of the 64 gates. When you do the dream rave chart, you only have the 1-8, the 5-15, the 50-27, the 42-53, the gate 19, the gate 12, and the gate 28-38. So that's the list of these gates over here on the left. So these are the 17 dream gates. And then the 14 is not in the dream chart, but what this is doing is it's showing you the list of the amino acids based on the rest of the codons, and it's the grouping. So the grouping of the codons here, the 9, 11, 26, the 5 is threonine. These are not in the dream rave chart. This is the gate in the dream rave chart. Okay, so let me share with you a little bit about how the dream rave chart looks. So I'm going to use the just now so we can get a feel for what's going on here. So if someone was born just now, this is their awaking rave chart. When they lay down, they go horizontal. There is a different connection to your chart. It's called your dream rave, and it's completely different. So this particular person becomes a reflector. You'll notice that here they have the gate 42, which is in their waking state, but they also have this gate 57. The gate 57 is not in their waking. So according to Ra, this gate 57 is where they have the Achilles heel gate, which means they are the most sensitive to the programming. So they would be the most sensitive to the negative aspect of this gate 57, which is really one of the most psychic gates in all of human design, which could negatively mean that this particular person feels the pressure to follow psychic hits or psychic downloads that they've been getting. Maybe they wake up with a psychic dream and they feel like they have to follow that. That's actually a negative force for this particular chart. This particular person needs to follow their emotional inner authority, and they're going to be here to mutate direction based on their emotional inner authority. So they would have to relearn where this psychic material is coming from and really check if it's just part of the matrix or if they're getting accurate downloads, but they are never here to take action on that psychic download. Now, what we would also do with the chart that I just looked up is we would look at that gate 57 and see with the protein alanine if that a lack of alanine or protein sensitivity, what alanine is associated with health concerns in the body. The health concerns in the body is what Vicki has been discovering. And again, if you want more information on that, I will have a description in that video in the link below. So this is kind of giving you more of a tutorial so you know what you're looking at and you can understand in your own chart. All right, so I hope that tutorial was fun for you. Go ahead and let us know in the comments below what your Achilles heel gate is. There's one more thing that I want to show you, which is the slight Achilles heel gate. We talked about this in the video as well. Okay, let me go back to this example real quick. So what we're looking at here with the slight Achilles heel. So in this particular example, she actually has the 42 in the line 5. So let me pull up someone else. This one has a lot. So what we would be looking at here, let's say, for example, her 8-1. She has the 8-1 both in the sleeping and in the waking. And the 8-1 is in the line 5 and the line 6. And the 1 is in the 6. So then we go back to her original chart. And let's see, she has this activated in the line 5 and the line 6. So what we would see is in the gate 8, when she is sleeping, the gate 8 has a 5 and a 6. So that would be a slight Achilles heel because she has it in a line 5. So she's getting activated by that 8, the gate 8 in the sleep in the line 5. She has the line 6. So when you have the same gate in the sleeping as you're waking, you're less susceptible to the programming element. In other words, the dreams are going to not condition you into your not self. So what we would be looking at here is the slight, which would be the 5. Is she more of a heretic in her contribution, which is that gate 8, or is she a role model? So she will be conditioned to be more heretical, but what she needs to be is leaning into the contribution as a role model. So that's one example of the slight Achilles heel. So there you go. There's a little tutorial on how these codons work, how we found everything, what we're looking at the amino acids, and then the piece of the illnesses that we've been discovering that create the problems in the body through those Achilles heel gates, or also we've seen it through splits and through other areas of deep conditioning in the chart. So we hope you find this as fascinating as we did. Please leave your comments and questions in the comments below.